Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. So my niece, I know y'all tired of me talking about this. My niece brought over the yard stakes, and I was able to pull the Santa Claus and the gingerbread man out a little bit. The gingerbread man stayed up, but the Santa Claus, he still fell. So I came out here this morning and I pulled him over some more. So hopefully he'll stay up. Just like a man can't stay up. But hopefully. I hope y'all doing well. I hope y'all doing swell. I'm not doing bad today. I don't know. I'm feeling a little weird. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to put it into words how I'm feeling. Just feel a little down. I've been feeling like this for the last couple of mornings, so I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. I'm angry too, and not really so much that I'm not angry like that. I just feel, I don't know. I feel I'm pissed in a lot of ways at myself more than anything. I'm gonna say this. I don't know how I should say it. I was just thinking about, things and some things and how things have gone and, how things have transpired. And I say to myself, I don't know if you ever have these moments where you think to yourself, man, I could kick myself because I knew better, because I knew who this person was, because this person showed me 14, 20 years ago who they were. And okay, where are you going? She comes out of Dunkin' Donuts and comes down the street where I'm coming this way to turn right here. People just be doing their own thing, not realizing that, you could possibly kill somebody. Anyway, the stuff I be seeing. But what I was gonna say is that I think back to things that I knew. And not that it's like, I just sometimes ask myself, like, why do you involve yourself with certain individuals? You know what I'm saying? You knew what this person was 14 years ago. Yeah, people, it was a misunderstanding then, it was something that happened, but you knew he was nasty then, he was mean to you then. Why did you think that just because it was 14 years ago that he was not going to be different? Why did you think that? So a lot of times, not a lot of times, but I guess what I'm saying is that I'm just like saying to myself, like you knew he was an MFer back then in 2010. Okay, we in 2023 now, and you think people grow up, you think people mature, people make mistakes. Well, like I said, this was something that didn't have nothing to do with him. he inserted himself in something, and he was mean to me then. So I guess my point is that why did you think it was going to be different this time? And when I look back on it, and to be honest, I have to ask myself, why did you trust this person again? Why have you trusted him so much? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Maybe I trusted him because I really wanted I thought that I really did think that things was going to be different. Not that 14 years ago, in 2010, we had no dealings. Well, so it wasn't like it wasn't nothing physical. It wasn't nothing like that. But to come all the way up to this point, and for me to give you another chance to be your friend, this is what you do. And for me, it's like I'm just angry at the fact that I'm just angry at the fact that, number one, I feel like now all the times that he's come back and he said he was sorry when we've had our issues or whatever, I now feel like that was not sincere. I feel like that was fake. I feel like you only did that because you wanted to get back, because you wanted to come back and, sleep with me again. But it never was sincere, And like I said, and I will give him this, when we decided not to be physical again, just to be friends, we were doing great. Until before he went on this trip. I still ain't figured that out. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't figured that out. I still haven't figured out, what that was all about. So let me tell you all this story. And I think I told you all this story before. I may have, may not have. So this guy that I have been dealing with, him for like, wasn't quite a year, but it would have been some months. So he started talking to another girl, and Facebook could tell you a lot. And I started seeing things on Facebook, right? So when went to his house one day, there was a picture of this girl, and he had I don't know if you all ever did this, where people give you a picture and you stick it in your bedroom mirror when you had the mirror. So there was this picture of this girl stuck in his mirror, right? And so I saw the picture there, and then I realized that this was the same girl that I had seen several pictures of them on Facebook. Now, he was a DJ, and she was a DJ, and supposedly he was training her, teaching her how to be a DJ. So when I saw the picture in his mirror, I instantly knew that they were fucking. I knew it. So I asked him about it. I said, well, who is this? So he said, this is, let's just say her name was Claire, because I don't want to say her real name. So he said, this is Claire. I'm teaching her how to DJ, So I said, I've seen several pictures on Facebook with you and her. I've seen you all hugged up. I said, are y'all fucking? That's just how I said it. So he goes, what? I said, are y'all fucking? And see, this is the problem that I have with men. Instead of you all just saying, yeah, I'm fucking her, I'm fucking you, I'm fucking somebody else, and I ain't, I'm doing what I'm doing. You all never give women the option or the choice to say, we want to keep fucking with you or we don't. But y'all lie. And because you lie and 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 you tell so many goddamn lies, that's when we start to hate you. Because when you're asked the question, you can tell the truth and just deal with what it is, or deal with this person saying, you know what, I'm not fucking with you no more. If you fucking with her, I'm done with you. Blah, 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 blah. But you all are such greedy motherfuckers. Such greedy motherfuckers. Greedy. So, he lies and tells me that he's not messing with this girl, right? I knew he was. I said, you are a motherfucking lie. I said, you fucking her. I said, you all are always hugged up. Now you got a picture of her. I said, you ain't just teaching her how to DJ. You fucking her. Oh, he lied. Right? So, next thing I know, okay, so let's back up. So we have this picnic, this Facebook group that I'm in. They have this picnic. This Father's Day picnic. We go to the picnic, and as we are at the picnic, everybody's sitting around, we eating and everything. He comes and he's setting up his DJ equipment because he gonna DJ. Lo and behold, here she come. I'm like, I know she ain't at this picnic. Now, I'm gonna tell you all this. I've never been and never will be the type of woman that confronts another woman, because I don't have an issue with you. I got an issue with this lying motherfucker. So I walk up to him and I said, I know you shitting me. I said, what's she doing here? I told you, I'm teaching her how to DJ. She just came up here so that, I could, So it's a whole bunch of people, all our friends and stuff. So I'm not that girl that like to rah in front of other people. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like to have people in my business. I don't like for people to be talking about what it is or whatever. But everybody knew that me and him was messing around, and they saw her. And I don't know if they really thought anything about it or not, but they knew that I was pissed. And they was like, what's wrong? So I started telling them what was wrong, some of the girls. And they was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, they fucking. I said, I know they are. I said, I just don't have no proof. I said, but I know in my spirit that they are fucking. That it's more than what he's saying that it is. Okay, so the men that was in the group, some of them, well, I'm not going to say, yeah, all of them were dogs. They was, a lot of them that was in our group, they were fucking women within our group, right? And so, of course, they don't think nothing of it, because they just as bogus as he is. I was so devastated, because I'm like, you couldn't even come to this picnic and be with me. You got your other woman here, and you gonna lie to me and tell me that you're not doing nothing with her when you are doing something with her. And I know that you are, and you have lied and told me all these lies or whatever. Okay, so I leave the picnic. I'll never forget, Christopher was in the jumpy house, and because I was so, this is what I'm talking about, dealing with these nothing ass people. I was so upset about that Christopher was up in the jumpy house, because he had to be about 3 years old. Christopher is up in the jumpy house jumping, right? And he comes out and he falls, he trips. And the kids had all their shoes out of the bouncy house. Christopher fell and bust his lip. Blood everywhere. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to go. But prior to him busting his lip, he boo-booed on himself. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm in the bathroom trying to clean him up. And I'm going to admit this. I was so mad that I was taking my frustration out on Christopher because he had boo-booed. I'm in there trying to clean him up. He didn't have no pull-up, so it's all in his underwear. I always brought a bag of change of clothes for him, always. So I had some pull-ups, so I put the pull-up on, and I was mad. I was like, why would you boo-boo on yourself? Why you didn't tell me you had to go to the bathroom? Because he's 3, right? And he was potty trained. So then I'm thinking, like, did he eat something that made his stomach upset? Because I'm going to tell you all, I was the type of mother, I took Christopher virtually everywhere with me, except for if I was going to a club, okay? But if it was something that was in a park that I knew he could enjoy or whatever, I took him. You know, I took him with me. There was a lot of times my mama babysat, but there was a lot of times that he was with me a lot. And people understood that. I told people, I got a child, I got a kid. You know, if he can't come, then I ain't coming. A lot of things I miss, you know, but that comes with motherhood. But anyway, he had boo-booed on himself, and I was so frustrated. I was frustrated because as I'm coming out of the bathroom with Christopher, after cleaning him up or whatever, they getting out of his trunk. She getting her chair and all this stuff. I never said nothing to her. I walked up to him and I said, what in the fuck? I told you, I said, you's a goddamn lie. So now you bring her where I am? I said, I know you fucking this girl, and you don't even have the audacity or the decency not to bring her where you know I'm gonna be. I'm telling you, we're not messing around. It's just this, it's just that. Okay. So lo and behold, I keep seeing shit on Facebook. So I said, you know what? After I cussed him out about bringing her up there, I was done. I ain't fuck with him no more. Now let me back up to how stupid I was. One night he calls me up and tells me that he got a DJ job, and he used to work where my guy worked now, but he my ex-friend, he used to work there too, and he they were laying them off, and so he took the buyout. So at this particular time he was still he was looking for a job. I found out later that he was an ex-con. He had went to jail for some years for beating a guy up that he almost killed. I didn't know that. I also did not know that he was on drugs when I was dealing with him. I had no clue about that. So let me tell you, he calls me up. I had got this money from my previous job. This will tell you how stupid I was. I got this money from my job that I had drew down. And I got the money, and he knew that I had the money. Now, at the time that I had got this money, not only did I help him, I helped my other ex because he was going through a messy divorce, and he needed some money to pay this lawyer. So what did I do? Now, he paid me my money back, but he sent me through hell too. I loaned him $500. I loaned him $500. And it took me so long to get my money back from him, but I did eventually get my money back from him. But this other MF, he calls me up telling me he has a DJ job, and he don't have no gas, and he need this, and he need that, or whatever. He asked me, could I loan him $200? So I said, okay. And I said, but I need my money back by Friday. It's been a whole bunch of Fridays that it came and gone, and I still ain't never got my $200. Also in the process of that, my first cousin was being evicted and didn't have any money, and he asked me, could I loan him $200? I sent him $200. He told me that he was gonna send my money back through the mail. I ain't never got my money from him. So what I learned in the process of loaning people money, you don't loan people money. If a person gives you what, my mother taught me this. She said, you give what you are willing to lose. She said, it's like gambling. She She said, people will tell you that they're going to pay you back. She said, they don't. She said, so when people ask you, can they borrow money? Be prepared not to get it back. So only give what you are willing to lose, because chances are you're not going to get your money back. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way, right? So I go to his house. I loan him the $200. Now let me back up. I loaned him the $200. This was before, because I know y'all gonna be like, you loaned him $200 and he had already brought the girl to the park? No. I loaned him the $200 before he brought her to the park, okay? But I did know or kind of suspect that he was fucking her, okay? And I still loaned him the $200. Well, I never got my money back. Never. $200. I could use $200 right about now. Real talk. I could use $400 because I could use $200 from my cousin who never paid me back, who lived in Florida, my first cousin. And I could use $200 from his ass, okay? So I never got my money back. So when it came time to pay me back, he told me that, you know, he didn't make that money on the DJ gig. All this bullshit, all these excuses. So I kept telling him, his name is Eric. I said, Eric, I need my money back. I don't give a fuck about saying his name. I don't give a fuck about saying her name either. Both of them ain't shit. So I said, I need my money back. Never gave me my money back, right? So now, after he brings her to the park, I'm done. So he calls me back. It wasn't like that. It ain't like, well, first of all, he didn't even call back. Because that night, I guess she went to his house, you know, for them to do what they was going to do or whatever. And when I think about how stupid I was with this stupid motherfucker, I was stupid to be with this stupid motherfucker. So I told him after he brought us to the park, I said, I'm done, right? And so I was calling him. I was blowing his phone. I was calling him, right? So he gets mad at me. He calls me up the next day. He says, you was blowing me up all night or whatever. I said, why was you ignoring me? If you not messing with her, what were you doing? Okay. So eventually it came out that he was messing with her. They were with each other, is what I had suspected all along. So, you know, now they're all on Facebook and everything. So I deleted him because I didn't want to keep seeing that. I deleted him. I blocked him. He calls me up and he says, and I really liked him too. He calls me up and he says to me, you know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Same bullshit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You know, but I'm not messing with her. Still lying. I said, you know what? It don't matter. Just leave me alone. You know how I feel about you. You know how I care. So now, you know, like I said, they're together or whatever they doing or whatever. So, you know, I knew that he was a liar and I knew he was lying. And I just was like, you know, I'm just not gonna keep believing this bullshit from you because I know you lying. So, as you know, as time went on or whatever, I would run into them or whatever. So I never like saw him again, like with her or whatever. I avoided him a lot because I didn't want to be bothered with him. You know, where the hell he got that in there? himself saving his parking space or something. That's stupid. What are you doing over here? So, you know, time went on or whatever, whatever. And, so I knew that, that they was together. So I would always run into them. So one night we were all at this club and we was all dancing and we was having a good time and everything. And she walks up to me. Out of all the people, she walks up to me and says to me, because I've always been a dresser, always. I've always looked cute, always, right? So she walks up to me and she says, "Oh, that's a cute dress you got on. I like that. You look so cute." So I said, "Thank you." I like that. And she said, "What's your name?" And I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck is she over here talking to me? I was like, what's this really about? So I tell her my name. And so she tells me her name. Her name is Bobby. So, we had another mutual friend in common or whatever. So, me being who I am, because I wanted to get his ass back for lying, we happened to be on somebody put up a post and she and I was on the post. And we started talking. I sent her a friend request after that. It's a little time after that. So we become friends on Facebook. Now he knows it. So he calls me up. "Why are you friends with Facebook friends with Bobby?" I said, "What's the big deal? I'm not fucking with you no more. Why I can't be a friend on Facebook?" "Well, I don't think that's cool to be Facebook friends with her." "Why? Why not? What, you worried that I'm gonna say something to her?" So one day she puts this post up on Facebook talking about him. And I knew she was talking about him. So I got on there and I said, "Yeah, they lied to you. They this, blah, 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 blah," right? So after I said something to her, she inboxes me. And so she starts telling me who she was talking about. She said, "I was talking about my guy, Eric. He and did this, and he and did that, and he and did this to me, and he and did that to me." I said, "This is my time to tell her." So I told her who I was. And I gave her the timeline about the picnic and bringing her to the picnic. She said we was messing around then. So we comparing notes. She said, "Why you didn't say nothing to me? Why you didn't tell me? You should have came over to me when I was at the picnic." I said, "For what? My beef wasn't with you. My beef was with him." I said, "Because he lied. And I knew he was lying about you all." So I wanted to know from her. I said, how long was you messing with him? So when he and I first started messing around, he wasn't messing with her. But as time went on, as he and I, we were like 3 months in, 4 months in, that's when he started messing with her. I said, "How did you meet him?" So she's telling me that she met him because they would be at DJ events and all of this and all of that. And this is how they met. Okay. So I tell her about me and him. And she said, "And I knew, he's such a dog and he this and he that." Well, instead of her keeping what she and I discussed, she goes, and it's a true story, she goes and tells him what I've told her. He is livid, right? He is pissed at me. So he calls me up. "What the fuck you telling her this for?" He called me all kinds of bitches. He's mad. I said, "Why are you so mad? You didn't have to." I said, "But you ain't with me. I mean, you ain't dealing. We ain't dealt with each other." I said, "So why you mad? You shouldn't have told her." Blah, blah, blah. He was going off. So at this time, I used to always spend the night, spend the weekends with my mom and dad. I used to go over there Friday. I used to spend the night Friday, Saturday night, and then Sunday I would go home because I would have to go to work. But my mom, no, at that time, and I was laid off at that time from the university because that was in 2011. Yeah, I got laid off in 2011. And I started messing around with him. My birthday was in February. I started messing around with him was it after my birthday? Wait a minute, Chris was born in 2008. 9, 10, 11, right. So he was 3, 2 or 3. So I started messing around with him because Marcus, the other guy, that's when he and we stopped talking in 2010. So I started messing around with Eric in 2011, 2012, something like that. So 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. It was after I got laid off at the University of Chicago. And I was real devastated. And I must have started talking to him like a couple of weeks after that. So my birthday was on the 11th. I got laid off on the 7th of February because I had put in for my vacation and they wasn't approving it. And they wasn't approving it because they were eliminating my position. They laid me off. They eliminated my position and told me that I no longer had a job. And that was February 7th. My birthday was the 11th. It was the worst birthday that I ever freaking had. So in 2011, I was 41. I did not start working here until I was 43. Okay. So, anyway, he lied. He kept lying, right? So I'm like, why are you mad about me telling her about me and you? I said, why do you care? You ain't with me. I ain't talking to you no more. It's just, she ratted me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, like I said, I would go over to my mama's house Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? I mean, we would leave on Sunday. I would go home. That was on Sunday. Chris and I come out on Tuesday. This motherfucker keyed my car. I had a red Toyota Camry. He keyed all around the car with one of those brass knuckle things that you put on your fingers. He keyed the hood. He keyed all the way around the car. I had a red car, just like this car is red. He keyed the top of the hood. He keyed all the way around the side of the car. Just deep, just keyed it. All because I had told her about me and him. And then she goes back and tell him, she confronts him and tell him. And I, the thing about it was, I wasn't even the only one that he was messing around with. He was messing around with several people. Thank God I didn't get no damn disease from this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, because you can get sexually transmitted disease even using condoms. Just so y'all know. Just saying. So, I was like, so when we come out, Chris is, Chris has always been really, really smart. Although he has a learning disability, he's smart in a lot of ways. I mean, when it comes to just common sense stuff, when it comes to certain things. So we walk into the car and I'm holding Chris' hand. Chris says, Mommy, your car messed up. Your car got scratches on it. And he saw it before I did, right? So as we getting closer to the car, I'm looking. I'm like, I am having a fit. So I put Christopher in his car seat, and I start taking pictures of the car. I go to the police station. I drop Chris off at daycare, because at this time he was still going to Miss Bunny daycare service. I drop him off at the daycare, which wasn't far from the house. I go to the police station to make a police report. The police say, do you have an idea of who did it? Now, this is where I got mad at my landlord, because I had been asking her and my past landlord. I asked him this before I left. I said, we need to have cameras on the building, because, you know, we lived in a neighborhood where, you know, a couple of people's cars had gotten stolen. And I had been asking her to do this. So we need a security system. She would never do it. Would never do it. Cheap. And I didn't have, I didn't have a camera on my window to look out and catch stuff. So the police asked me, do you have an idea who did it? So I told them, yeah. And they asked me why, and I told them why. And they said, what's his name? What's his address? What's his cell phone number? All of that. So I give them all of that. They tell me to go and get a restraining order. So I said, okay. So I dropped Chris. The next day, I dropped Chris off. I go down. It's down here, right down here on Harrison. I was down there all day long. You got all this paperwork to fill out to get a restraining order, right? I'm filling out all the paperwork and everything, right? I fill the paperwork out. And I'm sitting there, I'm filling it out, whatever. So based on what you say or your reason why you want to restrain it, I had pictures and everything. I went to Walgreens. I was able to print the pictures from off my phone. Had the pictures, I attached the pictures and everything. And I told, so after you do all that, they send it's a case manager to come and get the paperwork. They read through what reason why you are requesting a restraining order. So I go stand before a judge, and I tell the judge, I said, this is what's going on. This is what happened. Told him the whole story, how she and I had a conversation. And then the next day, this is what happened in my car. I said, I've lived at this building. At this time, I have been living there some years. I said, I've never had my car vandalized. I said, I know he did it. I don't have no way to prove it. I said, it's just not hard to put two and two together. He grants me the restraining order. He said, well, he will be served, right? So they serve him the paperwork. He gets on Facebook. Somebody called me up and said, you and Eric still fighting? Cause he wrote this post about you and everything. Now, he wrote the post in a group that we were in. And so everybody was like, we know he's talking about you. Now, my best friend, supposed to be my best friend, she wouldn't even call me and tell me that he wrote this post about me. She knew the dynamics of the situation, everything that had happened. She knew everything about my car being keyed. Then she said, well, maybe she did. I said, she ain't did this. He did this. Okay. So we go to court. My mother goes with me. And my mother said, because my mother is everybody always, when I tell people think I'll be saying my mother's a recovering addict. My mother's not a recovering addict. My mother was a director of a substance abuse program. When he came in, my mother said, he's on drugs. And not that I doubted what she said, because my mama has 2 college degrees. That's what she has her degree in. She had been around addicts all her career, basically, rehabilitating addicts, city workers, CTA, some big people, So I look over at her and I said, what? She's like, he on drugs. I said, Mama, why would you say he on drugs? She said, okay, whatever. She said, he on drugs. So then they call us up to the front, and everything. And the judge asked me, and then he's standing there, he lying to me. I told her I didn't want to be bothered with her no more and all this and all that. So the judge asked him, did you key her car? No, I ain't key her car. I don't know how her car got keyed. Because I did. After I went to the police station, I called him and I said, oh, so this is a bitch move. I said, this is what women do. But you gonna key my car, motherfucker? I said, I got something for you. So the judge did not grant me the restraining order. No, he gave me the restraining order, but the restraining order was supposed to be like, it wasn't a long length of time of what I wanted. Okay. He tells him, do not contact Miss Cotton. Do not, if you see her, leave the premises. Do not say anything to her. He says, I do not want to see you all back here. If you come back, if she comes back because you are still harassing her, I'm gonna grant this restraining order. And he said, and they was able to look in his record, and that's how I found out. Well, I had knew before that because when I went to the police station, I found out that he had a criminal record. So I started digging, doing my research, and that's how I knew he had went to jail, but I didn't know what the fuck he went to jail for. But I knew that he had some kind of something had happened. He never would tell me the truth. Okay, so I ended up having to go back to court because she calls me up after we go to court and she wants to talk. I said, we ain't got nothing to talk about. So she was like, well, have you heard from him? Has he called you? I said, I haven't heard from him. I don't talk to him. If I'm not mistaken, I think she came to court with him the first time. I said, listen here, Bobby, don't call me no more, okay? Don't call me no more. You with him, y'all stay together. Don't call me no more. My sister was sitting out there when they was waiting to call us up because they had told everybody to leave out the courtroom. If you didn't have a case, you didn't need to be in there. This was the second time. I ended up taking him back, getting another restraining order on him. And this time, I was granted the restraining order because let me tell you what she did. Let me tell you how dirty women are. But I'm going to tell y'all in a minute. Let me go punch in. I'll be right back. Good morning. it's a lot colder outside. It's cold out here too.
Yeah.
It is.
I ain't in no rush.
Don't rush. So, okay, I'm trying to tell y'all the story real quick. So I get the second restraining order, right? I get the second restraining order, and you know, he grants it because, let me tell you what she did. Tell you how women are. She was lying to him, telling him that I was constantly calling her, asking her about their relationship. I'm telling y'all, my hands to God, I never called this girl. Never called her. Never had no more conversation with her. Nothing, okay? So he would call me and harass me. She got him all riled up. The judge was able to figure it all out. All out. So he asked her, he said, right now, he said, if I put a summons in to summon your telephone records, you know, he said, would I find Miss Cotton's number on your phone? So she was standing there looking stupid. He said, because you know I can do that. He said, I could get your phone records and see how many times she's called since you said that she's called you. Because she's now the second time we went to court, she's standing next to him, lying. And I'm like, bitch, you deserve whatever you get from him. And when I tell you he walked her, he dogged walked her. So, fast forwarding, they ended up getting married. They ended up having a baby. She already had several children, 2 or 3 children already. She's extremely smart book-wise. Very, very smart. Can't take that away from her. But manipulative, just like him. Con artist, liar, just like him. So this is the point that I'm trying to make about how these MFers come back when they have dogged you. So now he and I, we're in another Facebook group together. Now I have blocked him. Do you know he has sent me, every time he get a new page, a new Facebook page, he sends me a Facebook friend request. I block him. So the other day, one of the young lady who started the group asked everybody, all the women, she said, I know it's cold outside and we in the cold season. She was like, but we need some heat up in the group. Ladies, post your best swimsuit pictures. So I put up 3 pictures. Why this motherfucker like every picture that I put up? Then had the nerve to tell me, after he found out how she played him and how she set him up. When I tell y'all, this man would call me. At that time, I had a landline number and I had a cell phone. He would call my landline number. He would leave all kinds of messages on my phone. I started recording them. I never would answer him. You know what? You better not let me catch you. Why you still fucking with Bobby? Why you still calling Bobby? Never was calling Bobby. She set him up to believe this because she wanted him to get in trouble. You know, she already knew he had a record. You know what I'm saying? So every time he would call, I have friends in the police department. This detective, they assigned this detective to me. Every time he would call me, the detective would say, call me. I would call him. They even went to his house. They even went to his house and told him, you're going to go to jail if you keep harassing her. They went to his house. They talked to him, all of that. And because he had been in jail for damn near killing somebody, he was already on their radar, right? So I went and I got another restraining order. This restraining order was for 6 months. He said, I told you when you left here not to mess with her. But you just, he said, what you did, he said, so you wanted to be back here? He said, and so when he made her leave, he said, you know she set you up. He said, she set you up. He said, this is the type of person you're dealing with. So I see him the same damn day I get the restraining order. I go to Walgreens And here he coming out of Walgreens. And he stops me. I said, you just got a restraining order to stay the fuck away from me. Why are you saying anything to me? I just want to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, he's like, I can't believe she did this to me. I said, I kept telling you that I wasn't fucking with her and I wasn't calling her. I said, I don't know why you believed her, you didn't believe me. I said, but see, this is what you all do. Y'all always get with these crazy motherfuckers, and then y'all want to come back to the other women that you indulged in, you and her. I said, Eric, leave me alone, okay? Leave me alone. So, even after that, he ends up marrying her. They're divorced now. They had a child. I don't know how old that little girl got to be. She got to be like about 11 or 12 now. And I've seen them. I've run into them at different events. She looks at me and I look at her like, bitch. And when I tell y'all she ugly, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, woo, she looked like a dude. Seriously, she is ugly as hell. But I've ran into them at events, and she looks at me and I look at her. And I learned what I learned in my lesson with that is that I will never ever tell another woman anything about who she dealing with, whether he's dealt with me or not. I will never do that. Huge, 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 huge mistake. If you ask me what's going on, I'm not telling you. I don't do that. I'm done with that. I learned a huge lesson from that. He even called this mental health place to say that I was bipolar, because he used to always say that I was bipolar. He used to always put this on Facebook when he was mad at me. But now, so many years have passed. He has sent me multiple friend requests. I block him. He's seen me out. He's tried to talk to me. I don't talk to him. Now he's liking all of my pictures in this group. So I said, you know what? I ain't gonna block him this time. I want your punk ass to see how good I'm doing. I want you to know that I'm doing well. And I want you to see what the fuck you missed out on, because when you thought what you had with this girl, and then I come to find out from several other people, they was like, both of them was doing drugs. You weren't on his level, and she was basically taking care of him. You know, he was living in his mom's house. His mother ended up dying. He couldn't stay in that house because he didn't have a job. I still don't think he worked. He was working at a trucking company or something that somebody told me. He don't have that job no more. This is the point I'm trying to make, and this is going back to my friend. This is the point that I'm trying to make. They will dog you. They will drag you. They will hurt you. They'll do all this shit to you. And then they'll come back some type of way and try to show you, oh, yeah, I know I fucked up. Yeah, you did. And I don't want to have nothing to do with you. And a few times that I've seen him at parties or seen him at stuff, he's come over there and stood by me and said something, and I just looked at him. I ain't even say nothing. I just look at him. Like, who are you talking to? I know you ain't talking to me. Dude, can you turn them lights off? You late as it is. It's 7:03. Bright ass lights. So, this is why I've been through so much with men. I could tell y'all a whole, and not only have I been through so much with men, I've been so stupid. I've been so stupid when it comes to men and relationships. And at this is why now, just like with him, I was thinking about that last night, and I was like, you know what? He wasn't never sorry. He was never ever sorry. He was only sorry because he wanted to fuck you again. He wasn't sorry because he wasn't gonna treat you bad or treat you funny again, or have y'all have some mishap or whatever. I have lost so much respect for him. You know what I mean? I just have lost so much respect for him. I don't think we could ever be civil again. Ever. And it's sad because I didn't want it to be like that. But when I think about the things that he has done, the way that he has made me feel, the way that he has treated me, and I'm gonna be honest, it hurts because you want to believe that people are you want to believe that people sincerely care about you. And when you find out that they just did not, it just hurts you. And I'm telling my mother was saying to me the other day, she was like, well, she said, I'm not telling you this to, boost your ego and nothing like that. She said, but he will be back. She said, I don't care what you said to him, he will be back. And she said, but I just need you to know how worthy you are. And I told her, I said, I know how worthy I am, and I do know my value. And I said, and also, I said, it's too hard. When people, I'm just using this in relationships, but I'll use this if you've been through this with somebody in your family or with a friend. Every time somebody hurts your heart, and your heart mends, and they do it again, it's too hard to keep bouncing back from this. You understand what I'm saying? It's just too hard to keep bouncing back from this when somebody hurts you. Because I truly know in my heart that I didn't deserve what I got from him. Because I've never done anything to him. Never did anything to him. So it's not like he can say, well, you know what, I treat her like that because I gave her money, she ain't did it, she ain't used me, she ain't been this kind of person. He said out of his own mouth, you are such a good person. So you know what I am and who I am. But I'm telling you, people don't even realize that, Nick Techniques always says, you're such a sweet person, people don't know your heart. They don't. They really and truly don't. But some people do know my heart. And if they don't know my heart, they'll find out what my heart is like later, when they on the outside looking in. Because I know you all don't believe this about me, because I've done this so many times with him, and I've forgiven him, and and all of that. But when I'm truly done, I'm done. And it take a lot for me to be done with you. See, that's where I need to change, okay? That's where I need to change. I always tell myself, this is with anything. I'm the type of person that you got to beat me up a few times for me to stop fucking with you. That may be stupid, and that may not, that could be, looked at as something is wrong with me because I'm that type of person. But that's who I am. I give people the benefit of the doubt too much, So right now, he ain't talking to me. He ain't saying nothing to me. He hasn't responded to nothing that I have said to him, because I was pissed with him. When I sent him those messages, he got me blocked, all of this, all of that. But there will come a day that you will wish that you could talk to me, because either I won't be here or you won't have any access to me. Because there's no need for me to ever call him up. If his father dies, anything, and I pray his father is well, his father had been sick, his children, just remember how you didn't respond. Just remember how you treated me. Because some type of way, just like 14 years ago, when I wasn't talking to him, say 14 years ago, that shit came back around. It took 14 years, and it might be another 14 years. But one thing for sure, And my girlfriend told me this. She said, I'm telling you this. She said, he got to come back and apologize. And she said, and when he come back this time and apologize, it ain't going to be no fake apology. It ain't going to be no apology to get back in your pants. It's going to be an apology because God is going to deal with him and his bullshit and how he has treated you. Because he truly, truly has treated me wrong. And for no reason. For no reason. But I know that every dog have a day. And sometimes they got two. And just like this MFer who did all this shit that he did, he called this mental health place, gave them my number. They come calling me, asking me, did I need help? Talking about somebody had gave them my number saying that I was suffer from mental illness. This is what this motherfucker did. Keyed my car, $2,400 worth of work. Had to pay that $250 deductible to get the car fixed. Had to go through my insurance. My insurance tried to sue him, but there was no proof. I had the police report. I had the restraining order. I sent it to my insurance, my car insurance and everything. Just like him. His life has been hell. He lost his house. He can't get a job because he's a convicted felon. He quit his job at this other place. All that money is gone. Same way with the sperm donor. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. His life has been up and down hell. And me, I have moved forward, and I've progressed in my life. And these people, they not moving forward. You know what I mean? Their life is either getting worse or they standing still. They standing in the same spot. So I say this to say, just like with him, and this is a man was raised in the church, know God like I do, and had conversations, so he know better. And God is gonna deal with him, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let God deal with him. And I ain't gonna say nothing else, because you're gonna have a day that you're gonna have to come back and you're gonna have to say you're sorry for what you did to me and how you treated me. And when you come back and you really, this time when you really sorry, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. And the other thing I want to tell you all is that my debit card was compromised on yesterday, so I had to get a new debit card. And so now I got to go in and put in this payment information, because they can't get the payment for PayPal and all this different stuff, because I got to put my new card number in. I'll tell you all about that tomorrow. But just be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you treat people, because it has a way of coming back and biting and really biting you in the butt, and really your life not being smooth. And that's why I'm so careful how I treat people, because one thing we all must understand, we are all God's children. We are all God's children. And when we don't take care of each other and when we hurt each other, that's all I'm going to say. So y'all have a good day. Have a good Wednesday. And I'll tell y'all about the debit card thing on tomorrow. I meant to tell y'all today. All right. Have a good day. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay. Bye.